seems to come in, play a couple of good games, get injured, comes back. Obviously, Max is out for Blanchard is out for 6 weeks now, so there's another option that we can't use. We put out a stat on Twitter that we've used probably about 10 or 12 different defenders.
I think it's 14 defenders this year, of which 9 have played at centre back.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, you can't get a settled back four. Obviously, we've had 2-3 goalkeepers there as well. You need a settled back four to build a nice, strong relationship, and that's the base that we should be looking to build. Like I keep saying, like a broken record. If you keep a clean sheet, you're guaranteed a point. And at this stage of the season, a point, especially against teams like Southampton, is going to be a positive result.
Without doubt. We touched on it there. Injury to Marlon Bruns, but coming back. But since then, we've heard he's handed in a transfer request. He wants an 18-month contract with the club, and Tranmere don't want to give it to him. What's your opinion on that, Paul?
Well, I can understand it from both parties. Marlon's 33, 34, is he? Something like that. So he wants the security of knowing that he's going to be at a club next season. He doesn't want to be rushing around in the summer, pestering managers and stuff for trials and trying to get a transfer in the summer. Because as we know, so many players get released that market is completely full. So I can understand it from Marlon's perspective, and if he may be thinking that he could possibly get a move somewhere else in January, then he's going to try and do that for his own security.
Well, I look at it this way: at the end of the day, Brooms he had a solid end to the season last year, but he's only played 5 games so far this year. As you say, he's 33. Why should Tranmere offer him a new contract if he's not playing and if he's getting injured all the time?
Indeed. Well, that's obviously the club's point of view. At the moment, they don't want to offer him a deal. One, because we don't know which division we might be playing in next season, and 2, like you say, he's a bit injury prone. He's pushing on in terms of his years. Is he going to be of use next season, especially
Tranmere's low budget is well publicised, and at the end of the day, we can't afford to keep players on the budget and on the wage bill who are not going to play because they're injured, regardless of their age and regardless of their ability. And the same can be applied to Alan Marn. I mean, at the end of the day, he's a very talented player, Alan Marn. It will be great if he does manage to get himself back in the team, but at the moment, there's no reason why Marlon Bruce should be offered a new contract.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if there's the possibility that we could bring in somebody younger who's not going to get injured so much, then obviously that's something that the club have got to look at, and probably that maybe in their favour ahead of Marlon, really. But if his agent thinks he can get a move in January, then fair enough, fair play to him. Like you say, he had a decent end to last season, but he hasn't really been magnificent, experienced ex-Premier League defender that we all might have hoped for when he first joined. So if he wants to leave, he would go with my blessing, but I don't think he would be missed as much as maybe Goodison is at the moment with his injury.
I agree completely. Moving on again, we've now got, looking back at your emails from last week, the topic, of course, which current playing ex-Tranmere man would you love to see back at Prenton Park? Had quite a good response for this, starting with an email from Martin Braw. He said a tough choice, but right now Clint Hill. If it hadn't been for the defensive display against Walsall, he'd have been tempted to say Hume, but right now he's an experienced and skilled defender like Clint. Yeah, he thinks he'd work excellently with Ian Goodison and win the defence. Have you got any response, Paul?
Yeah, I've got another one. Got plenty of tweets last week. Another one for Clint Hill from Jason Jones, who just says it would have to be Clint Hill, who's helping QPR at the moment. QPR are flying, he says. So there's another one for Clint. Chris Hopewell gives us 3. He gives us Anthony Kay, who's obviously doing quite well at Huddersfield. Ryan Taylor and Steve Simonson. He was at Sheffield United, I think.
I had an email from Warren Lynch. He said he'd love to see Hume back. A forward line of Hume, Jennings and Shrumley up front would strike fear into any defence, I think. And we also had an email, a tweet, from Pad Keane. He said, in two simple words, Ryan Taylor. And John Warrington said he'd love to see Akvo back, a good professional and a nice guy to boot. Did you? Who would you love to see back, Paul?
Difficult one, really. I mean, all of those players I'd love back, to be honest. Ryan Taylor, obviously. Kumas. But one that went under the radar, who I would like to see, who's actually been in the news recently, is Stephen Jennings. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. A good workman-like midfielder. We could actually do with someone like that, I think, in the midfield, to keep it nice and simple. Great work rate, and just a few goals as well.
I'd have another one who's gone under the radar. Someone who played for us 2 years ago, forged a great partnership in defence with Ian Goodison. That's Ben Chorley. He's still playing in this league with Leyton Orient. I believe he's captained them. He's taking penalties for them, bizarrely, but he forged a great partnership with Goodison in defence. We had a very good season in his final year here, and he was a good player. And we definitely need a solid defender like him at the moment.
Yeah, indeed. He was ever reliable. And like you say, he's doing very well at the Orient. Like you say, taking penalties, which is very bizarre, really. But I see he notched a header at the weekend as well. So, yeah, he's doing well for himself. He obviously wanted to move back down south, which I think was the main reason why he left the club, unfortunately. But, yeah, we could definitely do with someone like him to bolster the defence.
Next week's email topic, then, we will be asking you, are admission fees too high? We're looking at fees, and in a few weeks' time, trying to go to Peterborough, and it's £25 there to sit, but £20 to stand, which, to be quite honest, is just ridiculous. We paid £20 at MK Dons on Saturday. I believe it's about £20 to get in a few weeks' time at Brentford. Not too far off that at Swindon. It's just too much, isn't it, Paul?
Yeah, I mean, fans are beginning to stay away. You can see attendance drops around the country, not just at Tranmere, but around the country. £25 to watch a game of League One football, third tier football, is a little bit over the top, I would say. I think that £20 is quite a lot of money for anyone to be spending, especially on a game of third tier English football.
Discussion for next week. Paul.
Yeah, perhaps it should be capped, but that's where we want your thoughts. So send them in to the usual addresses.
Yeah, you can contact us at podcast at total-tranmere.co.uk, or you can tweet us, Paul Harper 82 or Total Tranmere, both of us on Twitter, and you can find us easily there. So please do get involved, because we'd love to hear your thoughts on this discussion. Last week we're going to look at rumours that have been going around over the last few weeks, and firstly today the Daily Mail reports that Huddersfield are set to bid £500,000 for Dale Jennings. That's on top of West Ham and Sunderland both monitoring the situation of the player. And you had a Glenn Roeder rumour, didn't you, Paul?
Yeah, apparently. Sightings of Glenn Roeder possibly taking over if Les Parry doesn't win the next game, which, seeing as it's against Southampton, is Glenn Roeder going to be the next Tranmere manager? Personally, I don't believe a single second that Glenn Roeder is going to be anywhere near Tranmere Rovers in the near future.
Other transfer news: Tranmere are scouting a player in Ireland. He's currently on trial at the club as Rovers look for a new midfielder. Les Parry looking to bolster his midfield, whilst he's also keeping tabs on a couple of players who've been released from their clubs in January, both midfielders as well. We do need to strengthen that midfield area, don't we, Paul?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Welsh and Labadie are two good midfielders, and I'd be happy to stick with them in the centre there. But we do need someone with a bit of what's the right word? A little bit of strength, a little bit of mischief, maybe. To nick the balls in front of the back four, pass them on to the players who can play it about, like Labadie, like Ian Moore, like Alfred Aliou, etc.
Yeah, so hopefully something will come of that within the next week or so, and we'll see as well whether Les makes any more moves in the loan market, perhaps a move for a defender with all these players out injured, and if Marlon Brooms does leave the club. But we will, of course, see about that. So for now, we just want to thank you for listening. Keep thanking Chris Hopewell for moving on our YouTube channel, and we will hopefully be on iTunes soon, Paul, won't we?
Yeah, definitely. We're just awaiting a brand new website to be set up for us. Hopefully we'll be up on iTunes for you to subscribe and download from that iTunes store.
So it's goodbye from me for now. Thank you very much for listening. I look forward to reading your emails and your tweets, and look forward to you listening next week. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much for listening. Make sure you tune in next week and send your emails, please. Thank you.